If millennials were software updates, we'd be version 1 of doing everything right and still crashing. So the system is glitched, right? And somehow everyone's blaming us for it. But maybe the glitch isn't in the system. Maybe it's the loop. Boomers mocked us, and now we're mocking Gen Z. Every generation swears that we'll be different. Then we proceed to copy the last one just with better Wi Fi. So, yeah, maybe it's time that we stop patching the same bug and just start rewriting the code. Do you ever look around and just think that we followed every rule that they gave us and somehow still ended up in the worst version of the game? Like, we did everything that they said, bro. Go to school, get the degree, work hard, and now we're sitting here with debt, burnout, and housing market that requires a GoFundMe just to do a viewing. They keep saying that we're lazy, but bro, we've been working. The finish line just keeps moving. And I was born in 96, bro, right between millennials and Gen Z. So I'm old enough to remember burning CDs and young enough to get burned out by screens. We grew up on Windows XP and still can't find the upgrade. We're not lazy. We're just done pretending the game is fair. And this time, we're not waiting for a system update. We're learning the code ourselves. They promised us milestones, man. House, family, stability. The roadmap was paywalled halfway through. So we kept paying and ended up sprinting circles on the same fucking hamster wheel. They told us that if we work hard, we'd make it. No one mentioned that the rules would change mid-level. Prices went up, wages froze, and somehow we're the ones getting lectures about grit. We grew up, graded for effort, and now life grades us on optics. And instead of fixing the system, we learned to cope just by complaining about it. We turned burnout into branding. And if we weren't thriving, we made sure that we at least looked productive. And I get it, bro. Complaining gives you that short burst of justice. Doesn't really fix anything, doesn't it? At some point, you gotta stop diagnosing the problem, man, and start actually designing the alternative. Because yeah, the system is rigged, but refusing to learn it just keeps you stuck at level 1. And this is what I hate the most, man. Instead of the world helping, they turned us into a meme. We became clickbait, bro. Millennials killed housing. Millennials killed marriage. Millennials killed napkins. Apparently, we're the final boss of late-stage capitalism. It's a cool title, but terrible paycheck. And meanwhile, we're just trying to survive the cost of existing. Bro, they call us soft, but we were raised on survival mode. We learned resilience from recessions, not TED Talks. We didn't get soft, we just got sarcastic. Because humor is cheaper than therapy. But here's the catch, man. Awareness without direction turns into despair. You can only make so many jokes before they start feeling like cries for help. If meme is all we build, the only thing that we'll fix is the algorithm. So how do we stop being a meme? Burnout isn't really just exhaustion. It's misalignment of purpose. We've been chasing goals that were never ours to begin with. We were told that productivity equals worth. So now, if we rest, we just feel guilty. And if we slow down, we feel lost. But you can't outgrind a rigged game, bro. You have to outgrow it. And for me, that meant starting YouTube. Not for clout, not for escape, but just for clarity. It gave me a space to turn frustration into something real. To build instead of scroll. To stop waiting for permission to speak and just start saying something that I think is worth hearing. It doesn't fix everything, but it gives direction to chaos. Because at least this time, the exhaustion means something. Being tired while creating still beats being tired while complying. But here's a reality check. We're a bridge between two generations. We grew up waiting for our songs to download one bar at a time. And now we just skip a video if it buffers for over 2 seconds. We learned patience from bad Wi-Fi and forgot it when everything went wireless. Older generations don't really get it, and younger ones don't even remember it. But us, we translate it. We remember when conversations were real, before they became performances on your screen. In that perspective, that's our edge, bro. But here's what's dangerous. Whatever we normalize today, Gen Z will copy. And Gen Alpha, they'll amplify it. So if we normalize cynicism, they'll turn irony into identity. If we normalize burnout, they'll turn exhaustion into culture. But if we normalize building, they'll make that the baseline. So we're not just surviving, we're defining what sanity looks like for the next generation. So how do we lead without repeating the same mistakes the boomers did? So first, we have to redefine success. If the system measures you by profit, you have to start measuring yourself by progress. Second, you have to detach progress from speed. We grew up thinking that slow equals failure, but we don't realize that slow is how you build something that actually lasts. Third, you have to protect your focus. Structure is in control. It's self-respect. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You just need one to stop you from spiraling. Fourth, we have to rebuild without permission. We were raised to ask for approval from our bosses, parents, system, or gatekeepers. But you don't need a green light to start driving your own lane. Start that business, launch that project, build that skill, bro. Even if it's small, man. Even if no one's watching. Because the second you stop waiting for permission, you stop living by someone else's timeline. We spend our 20s waiting for a nod. Now it's our time to nod to ourselves. Rebuilding without permission isn't rebellion, it's recovery. It's pretty much saying that I'm done waiting for someone else to call it valid. And lastly, you have to stop trying to do it alone, bro. We were the first generation to find community online. Now we just need to rebuild it, but offline. So we have to team up, mentor down, share playbooks instead of panic, because leadership isn't about being flawless. It's about being the first to move. So if you feel behind, you're not. You're just building something that takes longer than hype. If you feel tired, it's not weakness, it's evolution. You're shedding scripts that never fit you anyways. And if you feel lost, good. It means that you've stopped pretending that you were found. We're not broken, bro. We're buffering. And this time, we're writing the fucking update ourselves, man. And you have to remember, Gen Z is watching, and they won't listen to what we say. They'll copy what we do. And here's the part that we don't want to admit. We're starting to sound just like the boomers did to us, bro. Same condescending tone, just dressed in trendier slang. We hated hearing it back then, so why are we replaying it now? We have to break that cycle because the world doesn't need another generation of critics. It needs example. So let's teach by doing, let's lead with what we build, not what we bash. So if boomers gave us lectures, we have to give Gen Z the blueprints. Because if the system is rigged, it's our responsibility. We're the generation that's currently rewriting the code for the next one. Something, but okay, anyways, that's the end of the video. Hope you guys liked it, man. And if you did, make sure you go down to the comments. Tell me what you think about it. Hit like, subscribe maybe, and check out my Gen Z video, bro. It's pretty good. And I'm gonna be talking about some male female shit after, so you don't want to miss that. So stay tuned, bro. Peace.